Hi, I'm Peaceful Nick the Medium. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, I want to talk about how do you become a medium and all the questions you can possibly imagine asking about mediumship. To start off, I want to talk about a special that myself and Kathy Behrens have going. We have the Spirit Exchange, which is an annual membership limited to 25 members. There's only 5 spots left. It includes 10 90-minute galleries with myself and certified medium Kathy Behrens, and this will include guest readers of various healing modalities. We offer free prizes at the end of each gallery, and if you sign up by April 1st, you will receive a free 20-minute one-on-one reading with either myself or Kathy Behrens. You will also receive a ticket for a guest to attend one of the galleries. The first gallery is April 10th. You can sign up on my website or at kathybehrens.com. I will put those in the chat as we go. So I want to talk about mediumship and what is mediumship. In one of the podcasts, so I've been on recently, I was on the Julie Ryan podcast, I was on the Unbelief podcast, and a few others. And one of the questions I was asked was, how do you get trained to be a medium? What does that entail? How do you become a medium? What is mediumship development? What is training? Hello, Holly. Welcome in, everyone. I'm glad that you are here. I want to see, okay, so put any questions about mediumship in the chat. I just want to see if my stream is working on all the apps it's supposed to be. Okay, perfect. It is. Okay. So I have a digital course that is downloadable on my website. It's on sale right now for $27. It's normally $150, and it is chock full of a full 6-month mediumship course. It has instructions, it has information, it has exercises, it has journal prompts. You learn about your clairs, how to find your spirit guide, how to connect to spirit, how to hold your connection to spirit. Anything you ever wanted to know about mediumship for a beginner's course is in this digital course. You can just download the digital course, or you can book a second or third tier, or first or second tier, which includes one-on-one meetings with me to guide you through certain aspects. As we, journey through the journal exercises, you may have some questions. So feel free to ask me any questions. Hi, Kim. Tonight I'm talking about mediumship and the Spirit Exchange. I also have mini readings for $25. I have a buy one, get one free special right now. All of those things are up on my website. You can book any 30 or 45-minute reading and get a free reading for yourself or give it away to a friend or a loved one. So what are you going to learn in beginner's mediumship? I also have a free beginner's mediumship workshop on April 12th. You can book that on my website. Let me put that in the chat. You don't need money to ask me questions, Marlena. You can ask me any question you want right now for free. Free intro to mediumship on April 12th. I think it's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you can sign up on my website. That's a completely free mediumship workshop for anybody. Anybody can join that on my website. It has a little chalkboard icon on the website. You see the little chalkboard? It says Introduction to Mediumship. Click on it, sign up. It's totally free. You do not need money for that. Sorry, my computer is jingling at me. So that's my free Introduction to Mediumship workshop, April 12th. Sign up, ask questions. You can ask questions here. This is like a mini workshop. I come on here to answer questions. So what's in the 6-month course? What's in the digital course, which you can download? Psychic versus mediumship is something that a lot of people don't understand. Psychic is someone, when you do a psychic reading, a purely psychic reading, you are connecting to the client or sitter in front of you and their life and their aura and their energy field and giving them information about them. If you're doing a mediumship reading, you are connecting to a different place. You're connecting to the spirit world. You are raising your awareness and inviting in loved ones in spirit to give information to your client. All mediums are psychic, but all psychics are not mediums. It's like all pennies are money, but not all money are pennies. So that's, if you need to think of it that way. Psychics, just a psychic reading connects to you in your life. Mediumship connects to loved ones in spirit. All right, so I have a question. My daughter's husband lost his job. Now they're losing everything. My grandson has autism. I'm wondering, is it going to work out okay? Because I'm so stressed. So, Marlena, that's a psychic prediction, which I do not do professionally. I don't even charge money for that. I don't do straight psychic, but I will tell you that all you can do is breathe deep, help them with what you're able to help them with, guide them in a proper way that won't make them more stressed out. If they need to come live with you, if that's a possibility, sometimes you have to do that. A lot of families are struggling with these same situations right now because the world is kind of, upside down for a lot of different reasons. Breathe deep, help them if you can in some way. And they're going to physically survive this. And sometimes we have to get a job we don't want for temporary, time. Hi, Kim. Hi, Trent. So it will work out. It just, they're going to need help and support. But they will be okay. It's going to be challenging, but all you can do is love them, help them in any way you can. And, they may have to change their living arrangements. And that's happening to a lot of people. So don't stress, breathe through it, and just be as supportive as you can. Okay. So I'm sorry that's happening to your family. So I just covered psychic versus medium. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Don't forget, I have mini readings for $25. That's a, 15-minute reading. You can get a really good 15-minute reading. And I have a buy one, get one free special for any 30 or 45-minute reading, which you can keep both readings for yourself, or you can give one reading away to a friend or loved one. Rita, I've lost my son. Is he safe in heaven? I'm so sorry that you lost your son. I can guarantee you your son is safe in heaven. As I call it, the spirit world, but if you'd like to call it heaven, that's perfectly fine. Everyone is safe and at peace when they cross over to the spirit world, including your son. I can tell you unequivocally, he's watching over you. He's trying to show me a sign. I don't know if it's a butterfly, I see a ladybug, butterfly, ladybug, hummingbird, some small creature. Are you seeing signs, Rita? Are you seeing these little creatures? I just keep blasting my head with a ladybug. So I don't know if ladybugs are important to you or if you see those as a sign or some other small creature. Let me know, Rita, if you do see that. Angie, are you able to connect with your own loved ones in spirit whenever you want? Excellent question. And we do cover this in mediumship classes. Don't forget, sign up for my free mediumship workshop on April 12th. It's on my website. It's a little chalkboard. Angie said, are you able to connect with your own loved ones in spirit whenever you want? Do they ever not respond? I think I drive my daughter crazy if I could connect to her anytime I wanted. Yes, I can connect to my loved ones anytime I want. You can connect to your loved ones anytime you want. I've never had them not respond, and you will not drive them crazy. Anybody can do this. Anybody has the ability to do this. So you have to understand that. And I have my whiteboard. I'm so excited. So for those of you who don't know, I was a teacher for 20 years and a professor of science. So I love drawing things up. So here we are. This is us, right? And then here's the spirit world. Okay. It's everywhere. It's all around us. So it's like another layer, another dimension. So if your daughter is in spirit, she can connect to you at any time and you can connect to her. I say, like, we have antenna on our head, like a radio signal, and you put a radio signal out and you think of her, you say her name, she picks up on that telepathically. Everything in spirit's telepathic. Then you can communicate instantly. It's instantaneous because they are overlapping us. They are not far away in the sky out in the middle of the universe. They are overlapping us. I lost my eraser. The dimensions are intertwined and overlapping. Let's see. So I hope that makes sense. So yes, you can do that. And we do learn that in my mediumship. We talk about that in the introduction and we talk about it in the mentorships. And I think it's in the downloadable. If you get the digital download, you'll learn so much. It's unbelievable. And you will be able to chat with her anytime. Marlena. Thank you, Marlena. I appreciate that. Ooh, Kim, how do you find out who your guide is? I have a free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website, and I can give you a little bit of information about that in just a second. Rita said, I haven't noticed bugs, but I did ask for nickels, which I found many of. Rita, for some reason, they're giving me a ladybug. So keep your eye out over the next few days. If you see a ladybug, it can be on TV, social media, in person. You can walk into a store and see a ladybug picture. Keep your eye out for ladybugs because they just keep showing me that. And please email me if you see the ladybug. How do you find out who your guide is? Again, free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website. You open my website, there's a little gray rectangle that pops up. You click it, put your email in. The guide comes straight to your inbox with links to videos. It's completely free. You have to kind of go through, and it's also in the digital download, the downloadable book that I wrote, which is also on my website on sale for $27 if you want the whole book. You have to breathe, be in a place free of distractions, deep breaths in and out, at least 3. You do 3 deep breaths. You lift your awareness or your consciousness up and out above your head. And you invite your guide in. That's one way. Now, sometimes it's a loved one in spirit that pops in, so you have to do this over and over. It's a little more detailed than that, but it's kind of a really simple process. You have to be free of any distractions. You have to set your intention that you want to find your spirit guide. You have to be in a place where you won't get bothered. Like, you don't want to do it, at the dinner table when, people are there talking to you. You want to make sure, doing it at bedtime, right before bed is a good time because everybody's settled in the house. You can do it in the shower if nobody's bothering you in there. Breathe deep. Well, first you got to set your intention. Breathe deep, lift and expand your awareness. Mine is right now a copper or sepia colored giant oval over my head. That's how I visualize it when I connect. And then you ask your spirit guide to step forward. Sometimes you have 5 spirit guides. Sometimes some people have 10. I can't keep track of that many. So I have my main guide, who is George. I have my emergency only guide, who's called Mother Guide. And I have my symbols and numbers and letters guide called Infinity. And that's what I have right now that I am in contact with. That doesn't mean I don't have other guides. We probably have many guides, and they can change throughout your life. So set your intention, breathe, lift and expand your awareness, invite your guide to connect with you. And they don't always have to be in human form. Some people have orbs as guides. Some people have animals as guides. Some people have a tree as a guide. It doesn't have to be a human form. Keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely go on my website and get the free guide to finding your spirit guide, because it's very detailed, has lots of good instructions. Marlena, I tried to talk to my mom and my sister. I never get signs. They don't talk to me or visit me. So this is not uncommon. Sometimes we are in too much emotional pain to notice, see, or accept that the sign is real. Sometimes our loved ones take a while to connect with us because of a variety of reasons. My brother-in-law who passed away, he took months and months and months and months before I had a dream visit with him, and it was very brief. But now he passed in 2016. Now it has been 9 years almost, and we get signs from him all the time. And he was stubborn in life, so this doesn't surprise me. The sign we get is everywhere my husband and I go, because it was my husband's brother. Someone, like, because we go to Starbucks, when we go places, we will go to Starbucks and we'll wait in line. The person in front of us or the person waiting on us is David. There's always a David there. And yes, David's a kind of a common name, but Michael is the most common name, and we never see a Michael. And I was at Costco the other day, and I was walking down the hall, and a David walked towards me. He worked there. He had a name tag, David. And I was walking back the other way a few minutes later, and the same David was walking in the opposite direction. So I saw him twice. And it happens everywhere. Our waiter will be named David if we go out to dinner. The checker at the grocery store will be named David. At Starbucks, all these places we go, there's a David. And so that's his little sign saying, I'm here. I know what's going on in your life. He's allowing us. He's not in those people. He's allowing us to be in the presence when we're going to hear or see his name, so we know he's around us. And I think it's a beautiful way, because it has happened minimum of once a week for the last couple of years, minimum of once a week. And I just think it's so beautiful. So for those of you looking for signs, you have to be patient. You have to notice everything and keep track. So sometimes if you see a butterfly, it's just a butterfly. But let's say you got a butterfly tattoo in memory of your loved one, and all of a sudden you start seeing butterflies everywhere. That's probably a sign. They're bringing that into your awareness. They're moving you and the butterfly into a place where you will encounter each other often enough to be a sign. It is never that they don't want you to see a sign from them. It is, if you're not seeing signs, either you're not aware of what sign it will be or should be, or they're waiting for you to do some human mourning a little longer before they start bringing you signs. But you can ask directly for a specific sign. And I've told the story, the snow globe story, many times. When I became a medium, I knew nothing, zero about mediumship, because I worked in science for my whole career. So I knew nothing about it. 20 years I worked in science, communication, and education before I became a medium. And I knew nothing. And I was kind of skeptical. But I had some experiences. That's why I started taking the classes. And so my mentor told us we had to ask our spirit guide for a sign. Now, I didn't even know, I don't think, who my guide was at the time. I don't remember the order, but I'm like, okay. And I was very skeptical and reluctant to do it, but I'm a good student. So I asked my guide for a snow globe. And I'm like, whatever. Okay. I was like kind of attitudey about it. And my guide, and this is the same for your loved ones in spirit. Okay. So I'm just giving this example. That was a Saturday because my mentor classes were always on Saturday mornings. And later that day, I saw a snow globe on social media. This was March. I'll never forget it. So it wasn't Christmas. I should not have been seeing snow globes. And I saw a snow globe on Instagram for an advertisement for a psychic, which was funny. And I'm like, okay, that I'm not going to count that. A couple hours later, I saw the same ad. I'm like, okay. But by the way, I've never seen that ad again, just that one day. So I think that's interesting. The next day was Sunday. My husband loves golf. So I went to this golf shop with him. Remember, it's March, snow globe on the counter of the golf store. And I thought, oh my God, there's totally something to this. What's happening? Monday was the next day. I went to work. I went into a room I hadn't been in before because I was new to this job. And I looked to the left, and a lady had been there for 40 years. And she had just 2 years prior, before I worked there, been moved into this new part of the building with this big new room built. And she had a wall on the left side of rows and rows of hundreds of snow globes that she had collected for all the years she had been at this job from her students. So, hi, Kathy. Everybody say hi to Kathy. So that's a sign you can't deny. And you can do this with your guides or with your loved ones in spirit, and you will start to notice them over and over. And remember, now that Kathy's here, everybody say hi. You can join the Spirit Exchange by tomorrow. You save $100. You get 10 90-minute galleries. You get 2 mediums plus guest speakers. It is limited. There's only 5 spots left. It's limited to 25 attendees. We have guest readers of different modalities. You will get a free 20-minute reading with either myself or Kathy. You get a ticket for a guest of your choice to come to one of the gallery events. We give away free prizes, and the first event is April 10th. So sign up now. Hi, Carol. And I will put Kathy's website in the chat. And Kathy's also an incredible animal communicator. So if anybody wants a specific pet reading, Kathy, I just put her website in the chat. She is amazing and incredible. Also, she is a member, certified reader for helpingparentsheal.org. She does gallery events there. She's on their website. She was certified through a very tough process through helping parents heal. So she's amazing. I can't say enough about her. We work together on projects all the time. And we go live together pretty often as well. So follow her on all her socials. And if you want to book a reading with her or a pet reading or even the spirit exchange, it's all on our website as well. And we have some people here tonight who are members of the first annual Spirit Exchange who loved it so much they joined the second annual Spirit Exchange. I'd say about half the people have already signed up again for the second annual from the first annual, which I love, which is a testament to how healing the Spirit Exchange is for everyone who joins. Any questions about any of that? Okay, so we talked about psychic versus mediumship, finding your spirit guide, getting signs, other things that, don't forget, join my free introduction to mediumship workshop on April 12th. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Follow my YouTube, my Facebook, because that clock app may be going away again. Supposedly, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, but I prefer YouTube over anything. So please, if you're on Facebook, please follow my YouTube. It's at peacefulnik. And that's where I'm going to concentrate my content on, whether the clock app goes away or not. So Carol said, you will be so blessed when you join their spirit exchange. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I love it. Carol, my ear's ringing when you popped on because I was thinking about Hazel and grandbabies. All right, so clairs. Who knows what clairs they have? Thank you, Eileen. Eileen said, you're such a wonderful teacher. I appreciate your gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a lot of years of experience teaching teenagers, mostly teenage boys. I taught mostly at all boys schools for most of my career. So it's taught me to be very patient. But teaching adults is so much easier than teaching young people, for sure. But I appreciate the compliment. Clairs. So does anybody know what clairs are? The more you comment, the more I go out into the algorithm of, all the Facebook, YouTube, all those places. Clairs are, thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. Me and Kathy are going to try to go live together later in the week at some point, but you'll see us announce it ahead of time. So watch our socials for that. Or I should say Kathy and I, right? My mother-in-law would correct me. She was also a teacher, by the way. Let's see. Clairs. Our clairs are clear, whatever, right? Clear senses. Clear seeing, clear hearing, clear tasting, clear smelling, clear feeling emotionally or physically, clear knowing. So claircognizance, clairvoyance. Claircognizance is clear knowing. Clairvoyance is clear seeing. Clairaudience is clear hearing. Clairalience is clear smelling. Clairgustance is clear tasting. Clairsentience is physical feeling, and clairempathy is emotional feeling. So those are the clairs. These are like ESP, extrasensory perceptions. You sense things that there's no reason why you're sensing them, things you shouldn't know, information you shouldn't have access to. And that's what mediums and psychics use when they do readings. We use our clairs to get information from our loved ones in spirit. For instance, when like I was talking earlier, I raise my awareness and I create the space in my conscious awareness to invite in a loved one in spirit to talk to my client. Hi, Diana. I will see in my mind's eye, usually I almost always see the person standing in my awareness. Sometimes it's just their face, sometimes it's their whole body, sometimes it's their body with their clothes. Sometimes they're holding things that are significant. That's clairvoyance. Angie said, is it common to have more than one? Yes, most people have more than one. Most people have all of them to varying degrees. And Angie, you should join my free workshop on April 12th. It is totally free. You can sign up on my website, which is going across right now. It has a little chalkboard and it's Introduction to Mediumship Development. And we'll go into all of this more extensively. Most people have more than one. I would imagine most people have all of them to varying degrees. My claircognizance and clairvoyance is probably my top two. Then I have clairaudience, clairsentience, second two, and then clairempathy is a close third. Clairalience and gustance are my least. I don't get a lot of smells and tastes, but I do occasionally. So I want to, but I won't be home all day. Oh, it's at 7:00 in the evening on a Saturday Eastern time. And if you want the recording, email me. You can sign up and I'll email you the recording if you just want to sign up. So I know to email the recording after. It's totally free. But most mediums use multiple clairs at one time. So it's not like mediums are connecting. And Kathy, correct me if it's different for you. But for me, I use my clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairaudience kind of all melded together. So I don't have just one happening at one time. So I have multiple clairs happening, overlapping at the same time. So that's the clairs. So that's something else you'll learn in the Introduction to Mediumship workshop. April 12th, it's free. Don't forget. And what else is in my wonderful workbook here? There's a lot of exercises in the digital download to strengthen your clairs if you want to work on them. This thing is chock full of information. Also on my website, on sale. Finding your spirit guide, we talked about that. Spiritual boundaries, what are they and why they matter? So this is super important. If you are practicing mediumship, psychism, any kind of healing modality, it's super important to have boundaries. You don't want spirits just plopping in all the time. It can disrupt your life. It can disrupt your sleep. So if you are going to do any work with spirit, you need to let them know, okay, this is the place and time when I'm going to connect to spirit. When it's bedtime, I'm not going to connect to spirit. When I'm done doing my readings for the day, I'm not going to connect to spirit. When I'm at the grocery store, I'm not going to connect to spirit. If I'm at my day job, I'm not going to connect to spirit. Sometimes they're persistent and they pop in anyway, and you have to have a boundary and say, not now. If you want this person to have a reading, make it possible for them to get a reading from me or someone else. But you don't want to impose just giving a stranger a reading at the grocery store. It's unethical, and it can do more harm than good if the person doesn't believe in it. If they are in a not the greatest mental health, you don't know where people are in their life. So that's part of having boundaries. Perfect. Kathy, messages from Spirit. Kathy said, yes, I just open up to Spirit and they use my senses however it works for them. Exactly. Perfect. Brittany said, when I was a teenager, I would feel like someone was playing with my hair so much that I would actually turn around to see if someone was behind me. Then I had a dream, and my grandmother told me that when I feel that, it was her. That was 20 years ago, and I still remember it. Then when my mom passed, I started feeling it again pretty often. So now I think it's her coming forward to say hi. I guess that would be clairsentience. Yes, perfect. And that is not uncommon. Things like that happen. I get flutters in my ear. It feels like somebody's, like if you do this to your ear, I'll feel that. It is not uncommon to feel your loved ones in spirit come around you. People feel loved ones sit on the bed next to them. That's very common. They feel like something brushed them across the arm. Common. Yes, feeling things like that is very common. And I think it's beautiful that you're getting that sign from your mom and that you also got it from your grandma. I love that, Brittany. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So, any questions about that? Oh, Diana said, you and Kathy have both been so right on with my readings. Yay. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear it. Well, the point of it is for us to help people heal, to start or continue their healing journey. And that's the whole point of why I do mediumship. And I'm sure Kathy would say the same thing. So how do you connect to loved ones in spirit? You have to prepare your energy and space. So luckily for me, I have a whole office. This is my dedicated space for doing my readings. When I come in here, spirit knows when the times and days when I do readings. They know, okay, she's here to do her readings. She's in her comfortable place. She's at her desk. She's got her little trinkets and crystals and paintings and things, and she's ready. Oh, and my plant friends also, which I love. So you want to be in a comfortable place. You want to set your intention. I always set my intention, and I do my sitting in the power, which is a meditation to connect with spirit. I set an intention for loved ones in spirit to come forward for such and such name. Sometimes I don't have a name. And I ask for evidence to come forward and messages of hope, healing, peace, and love. And then at that point, I start feeling the connection to spirit. Oh, I need a Halls, and I can't find one. Diana said, how do you figure out who the signs are from? That is a great question. So when you see the sign, if you think of, say, your mother is in spirit and you see a dove and all of a sudden your mom pops in your mind. If that happens consistently when you see the sign and you feel the same person every time, that's who the sign is from. Whoever is in your awareness, whoever comes to your mind when you see that sign, they are moving that energy in front of you or moving your mind to see that sign in order for you to think of them. So just keep track of what you're seeing and who you're thinking about at the time. And it should be the first instinct, not overthinking it, like instantly the first person you think of. That's how I do. That's how I decide. Eileen said, one night I felt a gentle kiss on my cheek. I believe it was my grandmother. Right. So if your grandmother came to mind immediately, I agree it was your grandmother. Yes, yes, yes. So when connecting with spirit, find a quiet place, sit comfortably, set your intention, ground yourself, then breathe deeply, uplift and expand your awareness, invite loved ones in spirit to come forward, and then pay attention to what you see in your mind's eye. You may see it physically outside of your mind, what you hear inside or outside, what you sense, what you know, if there's just information in your head. I'll tell you, one of the things that was happening to me that I didn't know for about 5 years during my mediumship was I was hearing songs in my head. I love music. Music is very important to me. It has helped me in so many ways throughout my life. Music is very healing to me. I enjoy it greatly. So I often hear songs in my head just in the day, just, a song will pop in my head. Well, I had been hearing songs during my readings, but never thought to mention them because it's not uncommon for me to hear songs in my head. And then one day it got really intense, and I mentioned it was a song Yellow by Coldplay, which is a beautiful song. And I mentioned it to my client, and they go, "Oh my God, that song was so important for this reason, this reason, and this reason." And I thought, "Oh my God, I've been hearing this music this whole time, and it's different every reading most of the time. And I should have been saying this to my clients because these are important messages." So now when I hear the songs, I say it. But, we all learn as we go, right? Sometimes we just miss things, and that's okay. We're all learning. Okay. So connecting with spirit, I gave a brief bit of information about that. That's also in the introduction to mediumship. Free workshop, April 12th. Sign up for it if you haven't already. It's a little chalkboard on my website. Perfectly free, no obligation. Oh, types of evidence in a reading. There's strong evidence, there's weak evidence, names, symbols, things like that. Now, sometimes if you give a name in a mediumship reading, some people think that's very impressive, and sometimes it is very impressive. But sometimes it's vague. For example, when common names are given, like John or Mary, unless you have other very strong evidence to validate that name, I don't count that as very strong evidence because those are so common. Like my grandpa was John, his wife was Mary, my grandpa. So that's pretty common. Now, if somebody said, "Your grandpa John was born in Sicily and came to America via Ellis Island," that's pretty specific, and that's accurate. Now, without the rest of that evidence, it's not very impressive if you just say John. Hi, Cosmic 80s. So I was giving a reading on a live one day, and the person in spirit, it was a child actually, had a 1-letter name. And I can't remember now what the letter was. I think it was Z or X or something. And I said, "She's showing me a 1-letter name. And that's all she's showing me." And the person on the live came back and said she had a 1-letter name. Now that's specific and rare. That's not something you would commonly see. Like most people don't have 1-letter names. So when it comes to names, that's specific and unusual. And so that's really strong evidence. There are mannerisms, there's personality. So people have specific ways they do things, ways they talk, religious beliefs and backgrounds can also be good evidence. I was doing my meditation the other day, and I never invoke any deity at the end of a meditation, like Jesus, like I just never do. And I was compelled by spirit to say, and I have not said this in decades, "In Jesus' name," at the end of my sitting in the power. And I was like, "Okay, spirit, I'll say it." And I said it. And when I got on with my client, I said, "I just have to tell you this thing that just happened to me." when I did my meditation before your reading, I was compelled by spirit to say in Jesus' name. And I never say that during a meditation like that. She held up her rosary. She was praying to Jesus moments before I popped on the screen at the same time I was doing my meditation. And I couldn't believe it. So her loved ones in spirit were showing me that. And that was, part of the evidence in the reading. That's pretty specific because they speak through you. They show you things. It's amazing. All right. Third-party validation is some of my favorite evidence. When you give evidence to someone and they have to go find out from someone else if it's true. That happens often in readings. When you say, grandma showing me that she lost a child or a pregnancy. And they're like, no, I don't know about that. And then I get an email the next day and say, oh my gosh, my grandma told me this thing she never talked about, da, 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 da. She lost a child. So that's third-party validation. When you give information, the sitter doesn't know it. They have to go find out from someone else. And I love, that's some of my favorite. And so those are some of the examples of types of evidence in mediumship. Any questions? Types of evidence. What else is in here? Make sure you clear your physical and energetic space. There's, in my little digital download, there's journal prompts and exercises, how to get a name, how to learn about your clairs, find your spirit guide, connect to spirit, and that everybody develops their strategy in their own way in mediumship. And you can, the database, that's another thing in the digital course. Database is super important. So I always tell new clients that my life experience is different from yours. My database of information in my brain is very different from yours because we've lived a different life. So if I see a palm tree in a reading, I may think of Los Angeles, but you may think of Miami. That doesn't mean the palm tree isn't significant. It's just my database is different from yours. But if you understand why the palm tree is significant, that's an important part of the evidence. So those are just some of the highlights of what you'll learn in the Introduction to Mediumship workshop. That's totally free. Don't forget to sign up for the Spirit Exchange with myself and Kathy Behrens. I put her website in the chat. So if you want to find that, I have some mini readings on sale for $25. I have a buy one, get one free special. So if you book a 30 or 45 minute reading, you get 2 readings, or you can give one away. The digital course is only $27. It is on sale. It was $150 and I marked it down to $27 because I have my upcoming intro workshop, and they kind of go together. Angie said, with the third party evidence, will they ever give you evidence that you have no way of finding out? Yeah, that does happen. Yes, because you don't speak to the person. Yep. That happens pretty commonly. It's not uncommon at all. Sometimes people are estranged from family members. Sometimes the spirit's just trying to nudge them to contact them. That's not up to me. That's up to families and their dynamics. But yeah, that is common. Yep. You are welcome. Any other questions before I hop off and rest my voice, because I'm out of halls and I forgot to pick some up today. I max out about an hour. If you have any questions on the replay, drop them in the comments below. Thank you guys all for being here. Don't forget, sign up for the Spirit Exchange. It is 10 90-minute galleries with Kathy Behrens and myself, plus guest readers of different modalities. You will get $100 off if you sign up by tomorrow. Thank you, Eileen. You're welcome. Get a free ticket for a friend, and we give away free prizes. All the information is on my website and Kathy's website, and it is a great, great healing experience to be around like-minded people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Me and Kathy Kathy and I will be live later in the week. You'll see it on all our socials, and we look forward to answering all your questions and doing some readings together. Thank you, Kathy, for helping. Oh, thank you. Bye, everybody. See you later. Thank you. Thank you.